Welcome back, Focus Fanatics. In this video, I'm going to show you a quick tech tip on how to see additional check data that you may be looking for. So everybody should know how to get into the check viewer. If you have access, you can go ahead and hit check here, and it's going to go ahead and pull up by default all the open checks. Now there's a couple things you can do in here. You can hit the red question mark. That will show you the open and closed checks, as well as your total, your average, and the total number of checks that you have going here. I'll show you a couple things here. You can see here that I have check 1 and then I'm missing check 2 and 3. A lot of people think, oh, I'm missing checks, that we're deleting checks, but that's not what's happening. You can see here I have check number 22. Um, and if I go ahead and start a new check with orange juice and I send it, that is check 23. But if I go ahead and I delete that item without ever sending anything on this check, we're just going to ignore that check. Once we've started this check, we can't save it and continue to use it. So then the next time I go in here, you can see I've got check 22, but because I started check 23 and didn't ever send anything, now the next time I open a new check, it's going to be check 24. So that might explain a little bit of mystery when you go into your checks and you think, hey, how come I'm missing check 23? Basically what's happening is a server or a bartender or a cashier, somebody's coming up to them and saying, hey, how much is a Miller Lite? And if they just go ahead and hit, you know, Coors Light and say it's 350 and then go ahead and delete it, we're not going to save that check. So the next check that would be opened, if they actually rang it in later, would be check 26. So that's one thing I wanted to show you. The other thing that I wanted to show you was if you go ahead and you hit detail here, and I highlight on a check, it's going to show you all the information on the check that you would see from the main check viewer. But you can get some additional information here by simply hitting the check header. Okay, so with the check header, it'll show you exactly when it was opened. You can see this check was opened yesterday and not today, what time it was open, what time it was closed, if it was reopened, if it was transferred, who transferred it, all the information on that check. Okay, you can also go ahead and touch the body of the check here, and it will show you exactly what time those items were ordered and who sent them. Okay, who ordered them, I should say. So if multiple people are using a check, it would say, hey, TCP ordered this, but maybe JoJo ordered this. Of course, in this instance, TCP ordered everything on this check. You can also, if you look at like a closed check, for example, touching the body of the check will, in addition, give you uh, the payment information, the what type of payment it was, what time it was closed, and who made that payment. So the body, touching the body will give you what times the items were entered and who entered them, and then additionally what time the payments were taken. Now you might think that this payment 1254 was the same time that it was closed, and a lot of times it is, but sometimes you might have multiple payments on a check. So perhaps the time that it was closed isn't necessarily the time of the payment. Maybe somebody put $50 on the check and then the check wasn't fully closed out for another hour because some people were hanging out having a couple more things to drink. Okay, so that's just your quick tip on how to get additional information regarding the checks, and then how to understand why perhaps you're missing checks here in your check viewer. You're not really missing them, and you can actually go and search for those. You can go hit find and you can hit canceled, and it will actually show you all the different checks. It won't show you what was rang on them because nothing was really ever rang on them, but it will show you what table was rang, what the tab number was, and who started that check. So I'll give you some information on that. Okay? I hope this tech tip benefits you and your customers. And until next time, stay focused.